What's up guys, my name is Ace, and with E3 right around the corner, I want to talk about the top 10 things that I want to see in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Let's get into it. Alright, so starting off with number 1, I want clean and relatively simple maps. Maps that are overly complex really discourage movement in my mind. We see this a lot in Ghosts. When you look at Ghosts compared to Black Ops 2, Ghosts has really complex, sort of roundish or square maps, whereas Black Ops 2 went more with the 3-lane, linear, very simple and small maps. Well, not necessarily small, just simple maps. Instead of having a dozen routes to get from point A to point B, you only have like 3 or 4 in Black Ops 2. And I feel like this really leads to encouraging movement in the game. When you have too many routes to take, there's too many places you have to be looking at any given time while you're moving. And it's just way too risky to actually move because somebody could be hiding in one of, we'll say, 12 spots or 10 spots. And it's very easy for them to pick you off. Whereas in a game like Black Ops 2 with a simple map, you only have like 3 or 4 places that you have to worry about. And that's much more manageable while you're moving. I also prefer linear maps, and I would like to see more linear maps coming in Advanced Warfare. The reason for this is linear maps are way easier to balance, and the spawns are much easier to handle in a linear map. This is actually one of the biggest reasons that the spawns are so bad, or at least to a lot of people they think they're so bad. It's actually due to the map design and not necessarily the spawn logic itself. When you have a linear map, it's basically your enemy's going to be spawning at one end of the map, or they're going to be spawning at the other end of the map, with very few exceptions. There are times where there are those secondary spawns near the middle of the map, but for the most part, it's either one end or the other, and that's very easy for even the newest players to predict. So that's why I want to see linear maps. It keeps things nice and simple as far as spawns go. In addition to this, for the map design, I want to see clean maps. I don't want to be constantly running around or running over piles of rubble and getting hung up on things all the time, and I don't want a ton of little nooks and crannies or bushes for enemies to hide in. On top of this, I don't want to be straining my eyes trying to search for enemies because when you have these maps that are all full of rubble, it really breaks up like the human shape. It breaks up the human figure. This is basically the basis of camouflage. And I don't think in a fast-paced arcade-style shooter, we should be camouflaging enemies. I think enemies should be popping out and very easy to see, pick up on, and then lock on target and shoot. That's what keeps things really fast-paced. If you have the ability to hide in a bush and just wait for somebody to walk by, then that starts to slow the game down a little bit, because that discourages people from moving, because why would I move when someone's just going to shoot me in the back from a bush, and somebody that I just can't see is going to shoot me? Make it so that people actually pop out on the map. One last thing to say about map design is I would like to have maps that are a little bit more vibrant. They have a little bit more color to them. I'm not talking about doing like a whole rainbow on every single map or anything like that, or not having neon colors everywhere. Just not grays and browns. Not so many grays and browns. I know it's like a war-torn sort of feeling that they're going for, but this is an arcade shooter, and I like being in an environment that I would actually want to be in real life. I know that may sound weird, but we spend a lot of time on these maps, and I don't want them to be depressing. I want them to be, I don't know, fun to be on, fun to play on. I'm not saying every map needs to be like this. I do understand the need for having a few maps that are kind of war-torn and rubble everywhere, but not every single map. I want a little bit of variety with this. Alright, so number 2, this is something that I feel is very important for the competitive aspects of Call of Duty, and I think we should have a longer time to kill. It should take more shots to kill a person than it does in Ghosts. I feel like maybe just 1 to 2 more shots than Ghosts. We don't need it to be like Halo where you have to unload a ton of rounds into somebody to reduce their shields and then kill them. Just 1 to 2 extra shots, and I feel like this will reward skill a lot more. And there'll actually be room to have real gunfights instead of just who sees who first, and whoever sees the person first basically gets their shots off first and gets the kill, without really having to worry about keeping their aim on target, because they only have to hit 3 shots. A longer time to kill will also encourage movement, because you'll actually have a chance to evade an enemy or maybe fight back if they take you off guard while you're moving. In Ghosts, if you get caught off guard while you're moving, even the worst player sitting in the corner can probably land 3 shots on you before you have time to react. So just that added 1 to 2 shots to kill will give you that extra, I don't know, half second, maybe full second to react, and maybe get behind some cover and actually have a chance at winning that gunfight. Number 3, I want quickscoping to be balanced. Now you'll notice I didn't say I want it removed completely. I'm not really a fan of quickscoping, but I do see a reason for it to be in the game. It is kind of fun for people, I know that. I know a lot of people, that is all they do with Call of Duty. And that's fine, I don't want to take that away from them completely. I just don't want it to be a viable playstyle on its own. I don't want people to be able to run around and lead like every lobby they play in by quickscoping people with a gun that's designed to be effective at long range rather than close range, yet they're running around and they're challenging SMG users and assault rifle users up close, and they're winning a lot of their gunfights. I feel quickscoping should be more of a tool that can be used in a desperate situation or something along those lines. Or if you really want to challenge yourself, then yes, you can go quickscope, but don't make it so you can actually be very, very effective as just a quickscoper. The number one thing that I want done to balance quickscoping is considerably increase the flinch on snipers when they're shot. And I'm comparing this to Black Ops 2 snipers. Because the most frustrating deaths in Black Ops 2 came from getting the jump on a sniper, shooting him 3 to 4 times with an SMG or an assault rifle, and keep in mind that in those situations I'm playing to the strengths of my weapon, and then I just get killed instantly by a quickscope. The thing is, these deaths aren't rare either. If they were a rare occurrence, I would be like, okay, yeah, he got lucky, he got his shot off, good for him. But this seems to be like a 50-50 sort of thing. It's almost like a coin flip. I see a sniper first, I start shooting first, and yet he still hits me and kills me. The reason these deaths are so frustrating is there's no way to learn from them. There's nothing I could have done better in that situation to win that gunfight. I was perfectly on target, I hit 3 or 4 shots, and yet he still managed to kill me. How do I learn from that? How do I get better and avoid that? It's pretty much impossible in a lot of cases. I'm not saying every single gunfight, but on a gunfight to gunfight basis, this happens quite often. Number 4, more weapon variety. Now, I don't just mean more guns either. I'm actually thinking more along the lines of something that I really liked that Ghost did, and that's having like special abilities for certain weapons. So they have like the Honey Badger, which has the integrated silencer, or like the ARX that has the built-in laser sight for increased hipfire accuracy. I think Advanced Warfare could take this even further and add more of these little perks to their guns, and it will just add a lot more variety while you're picking your classes. And it's not necessarily just having 3 high damage, low rate of fire assault rifles, and then 3 low damage, high rate of fire assault rifles. And either way, they're basically the same guns with slightly different recoil. I don't really like that. It's kind of getting old. I want to have a little bit more variety and a little bit more uniqueness with the weapons. So add a few more of these little perks to the guns. Moving on to number 5, score streaks. For the love of God, please bring back score streaks. The score streak system actually recognizes that a kill while capturing or defending a flag is much more valuable than a kill in some random and insignificant corner of the map. This system encourages people to take risks and play the objective, and I really like that about the score streak system. Of course, there could be a few balancing changes made, in my mind, like for instance Team Deathmatch in Black Ops 2. I feel the kills should have been worth like 125 points rather than 100, because it was just too difficult to earn those higher streaks before the game ended, and 4 kills just to get a UAV seemed a little bit much. As for the score streaks themselves, make them something that you want to look forward to earning. This is where Ghosts really failed in my mind. I don't really enjoy using any streak higher than the Battle Hind in Ghosts because the other ones just don't seem worth it to earn. When I work really hard to get like a 15 kill streak and earn that highest kill streak reward, I feel like I should be rewarded for it. The Loki is the highest yet one of the most boring streaks to use, and I rarely get more than like 5 or 6 kills with it. To me, it's not even worth trying to earn. The Swarm, on the other hand, in Black Ops 2 makes you feel like a total badass when you earn it, and that's what should happen when you earn the highest streak in the game. You should be rewarded for it. Number 6, customization. You'll notice I have a little asterisk beside that. I want customization, but not at the expense of gameplay or other important features. Having 100 character models is pretty cool, but if it means that we get 10 less guns, or it causes some sort of frame loss, or it's just ridiculous and it breaks any sort of immersion in the game, I'd rather not have it. It's as simple as that. Number 7, the little things. I want the ability to see your connection status in the game. I want to be able to mute people without taking myself completely out of the game for a few seconds. I want the prestige icons to actually look cool and unique. I want a better stat tracking system and leaderboards that are sorted by some sort of representation of skill rather than just time played. I want audio options that allow me to adjust the music or the voice volume separately from the game audio. I want more control over private matches. All of these things are relatively minor, but they all add up to making a big difference in the overall experience of the game. Number 8, I want a solid ranked competitive mode. Black Ops 2's League Play is a great model to base a ranked competitive system off of, but I'd just make a few changes. The biggest issue that I had with League Play is people leaving games. Why should I be punished with a loss of rank when a random teammate leaves the game before it even starts? I feel there needs to be some balancing in this area to combat this issue. The 5-minute probation was a good start, but I think it should be taken even further than that. I think the players that stay in a game after a teammate leaves should receive minimal punishment to their rank for losing that game, and the people that do leave should receive a considerable punishment, up to even like a complete division demotion. If they were demoted an entire division for leaving, then maybe that would stop them from leaving more often. There are definitely some more tweaks that could be made to this system, but I don't want to get too in-depth with that in this video. Number 9. Exosuits should not change the overall feel of Call of Duty. I really like that Sledgehammer is trying something new and innovative with the exosuits, but I still want a Call of Duty game. I don't want another Titanfall or Halo. I'm hoping the exosuits will add some interesting dynamics, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure we'll find out a little bit about that at E3 coming up really soon. But I don't want them to get away from what Call of Duty is. It's a fast-paced, arcade-style shooter that has sort of like a chessboard feel to it. That's how I view it anyways. Is the map is like a chessboard and you're pushing for different areas of map control. I don't want to be able to super jump from one end of the map to the other or something ridiculous like that. I don't want to be able to climb every single building in the game and go anywhere I want to go. I want it to be kind of like a chessboard. Alright, so finally, number 10, bring back the grind. Do you remember the grind of the previous Call of Duty games where you started with the basics and you actually had to work to get your perfect class set up? I want to see this sort of system return. One of my biggest issues with Ghosts is the fact that prestiging doesn't mean anything to me anymore. You can literally start at level 1 on your new prestige with the perfect class setup. You can have whatever you want as soon as you prestige, and it's like nothing even happened. Prestiging to me in previous games has always meant that you're willing to make a sacrifice to achieve that next level of prestige, and set yourself apart from the others that weren't willing to do that. The most rewarding experiences come from accomplishing a goal when you're at a disadvantage, rather than accomplishing a goal just by putting the time in with the odds in your favor. I want that excitement of grinding through the levels to earn all of the pieces to your perfect class, and I want to be encouraged to use other things along the way, and not just what I want to use. I want the game to really encourage variety. This goes for attachments on guns as well. I love that feeling that you get when you actually earn a particular attachment through challenges or achievements, rather than just buying it. A system like this definitely extends the life cycle of a game as well, because I get a fresh start like 10 times instead of just grinding through the levels with the exact same classes 24/7. It's really boring to me in Ghosts. I want something to actually grind for. So those are the top 10 things that I want to see in Advanced Warfare. I'm really interested to see what you guys think as well. What do you guys want to see in the game? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.